Hello everyone! Today I'm hoping to lay some track on my layout. First of all, I'd like to say when I made the last video, I wasn't too sure anyone was going to be interested in that, but I was overwhelmed with the response. So thank you everyone for watching. So like I said, we're going to do some track laying today. I'm in the woods today. I'm hoping to find tall grasses or branches that will be suitable to make trees. Even though it's almost December, there's still some nice days. So in N scale, your tree is going to be about this tall. So you need something that's going to have branches and be about this tall. So that's going to good. That's going to be good. I'm going to grab that. I brought my snips there. So you can just go ahead and grab that. And that's going to be a nice tree. I have to take the leaves off, of course. And this probably won't survive storage. So I'll have to work something out to preserve it. Here we go. So I took all the leaves off, and that's going to be a tree. Because N scale is so small, trees are going to look fuzzy to you. So I'm going to see if I can turn these bushes, these tall grasses into something. I'm going to prune it a little bit here. Your tree only has to be 3 or 4 inches tall. That's all you need. Look at that. That's going to make an awesome tree. So I'm going to get a whole bunch of this stuff. I'm going to bring it inside and then I'll prune it like that. I'm going to get a bunch of trees for this. Best of all, it's free. That fits my budget perfectly. And this type of grass too, if you prune it correctly, should make a nice tree. Inside the house, it's a lot easier to work. So this is a shrub that I have in my own backyard. You have to open the door and reach for it. It's going to need a little cleaning up. That's going to make a magnificent tree. Try to keep as much as the small little details around, because you want half a branch here, half a branch there to add to the detail. I'm going to try to keep these. This should make a very nice tree, actually. And these, I'm really not too sure what to do with them, but I think I'm gonna keep the center one. The center one should look pretty nice on its own. That I have to paint it black, of course, but that looks really nice. The object here is to get a little bit of variety. This one makes a smaller tree. This one should be pretty convincing. I have to paint them black, of course. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stick them in a clothespin, and then I'll paint them black with spray paint. I don't feel like doing it one branch at a time. That would be a little bit long. Yeah, I think that looks pretty convincing. The objective is to have some variety. When you look at trees in nature, there's always a lot of variety. I have a bunch of the commercially made pine trees, so I'll be using them, as well as it's the deciduous trees that I don't have. So this is a little bit skinny. I'm gonna reject that one. And this one I pruned on the field. I'm gonna keep this one. Yep, I'm gonna keep this one just like that. That should be good. And then I'm still going to want to keep some variety. This one also, it might be just a little skinny. Yeah, that is very skinny. I'm going to pass on that one. This one also is no good. This one's kind of interesting looking. So I think I am going to keep this one. Just remove some of the leaves. But it's pretty interesting looking, so I'll keep this one. And these also I pruned in the field, and I like them. I'll keep them. So let's just take a look at what it looks like on the layout. With a couple of pine trees, should be quite convincing. Enough talk about trees now. Let's get back to laying some track. I went through my stashes and I found another pier set, which is exactly what I've been using. So this one looks brand new, so I'm going to be using that. And then my layout, it came from this book, A Clear Track to N-Gauge Fun. I've had this for 30 years. So that is awesome. Very thoughtfully made, goes into wiring, a lot of the things that you need to know, a lot of the basics. Although it's dated, I've had this for 30 plus years. But it goes through all the materials you need. Yeah, I think that was it. So this is the exact track plan that I used to make this little layout. I modified it a little bit. I didn't put any switches because I like to run my Bachmann 440 on this. Also, I had some leftover blue paint, so I painted the wood on the sides. I'm going to put this right back. Alright, so it wasn't 100% destroyed. I still have a little bit to work from. I'm going to examine every rail carefully just to be sure that everything is okay, and I'm going to replace the rails that are broken with some new stuff. I moved everything inside because it's brutally cold out there today and my garage is not heated. So this is a length of track that I'm replacing. When you do that, don't be shy, examine everything. Put new rail joiners as you need them. So I have rail joiners there, I have rail joiners here. I've got, this is a drawer from my my parts storage. I've got, you know, parts for this, parts for that. Traction tires. I've also got some new rail joiners. So don't go cheap on that. Put new rail joiners where needed. So for this joint, I only need one. This is all very old Atlas Snaptrack. And it's actually old enough, I don't know which code it is. Whichever code I got in these lots. But it all fits together nicely. So as you put them together, make sure I retest every joiner. I make sure everything's perfect. So that is the lowest riser. This is when the incline starts. So I'm going through everything, making sure the joints are perfect, going through everything like that. Also, while I have everything in my hands there, I clean my track with the Staedtler plastic eraser. So I'm gonna be sure to have this super nicely clean before I put it back together. So that is necessary. Every once in a while you can check with your gondola how you're doing. If the gondola or the hopper doesn't derail, it's a good thing. So I'm going to keep going like that. Also, at this point, I like to take my worst engine, the one that derails all the time and has poor power pickup, and run that. So if that runs good, then I'm happy. If there's any issues, then I work the issues. So if this locomotive goes through, I know all my other engines will go through. This is my Bachmann 440. That's why I built this layout with no switches, because it can't go over switches. But tonight I guess it's in a good mood because it's working pretty good. I haven't nailed anything yet, so I will nail things when I complete the circuit, when I complete the layout. Almost done. Let's see if the 440 can make it all the way around. So if this engine can do it, all my other engines can do it. So everything is basically completed now, but I haven't nailed anything down yet. Everything's still movable. So at this point, be very mindful of your gaps. You don't want to have gaps in your rail like this or like that. So as I nail everything down, I'm going to be very, very mindful of these gaps. And I'm going to keep running my 440 just to double check that everything's okay. But basically what's left to do is just to nail down everything. I've got one more spike to pound in, but I'm doing one last check just to make sure that everything's perfect. Everything looks great, so now it's time for the last spike. Let's take a picture for posterity. And now it's time to run some trains. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I certainly had fun making it for you. See you soon.